And that was Riding Home with the Reader. We are live off the floor at Conquerall Music. Welcome to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 Cove FM and online at covefm.com. This evening, I am pleased to be featuring the music of Exiled to Sea.
Down by the river, my heart feels so much pain. When I turn around, I realize I'm walking back the way that I came. Am I a bad person? Do I have a good soul? Well, I'll find out when I die and if I burn alone. Yeah. Where will I be the next couple years from now? It's such a hard question when you don't have the knowledge to find the solution. Or is it just me? Yeah. Under my bed, I'm there inside my head. All these demons chasing me there inside of my dreams. All these demons under my bed, I can't get them out of my head. All these demons chasing me there inside of my dreams. Chasing me there inside of my dreams. I'm just demons out of my bed. I can't get the out of my head. All these demons chasing me there inside of my dreams.
And that was Demons by our featured band this evening, Exiled to Sea. Let's give them a round of applause. And just so the listeners at home know, the members in the band are Ivan Annadale, who is playing the bass and singing backup vocals. We've got Connor Booth on the drums. We've got Jorgen Martin, who is doing the lead singing and acoustic guitar. And we've also got TJ Plowman on the electric. So my first question to you guys, and any of you can chime in, you're actually the largest band that I've had who are all going to be talking to me at once. So we'll see how this goes. But I wanted to know what prompted you all to call yourself Exiled to Sea. Where does that name come from?
That's a bit of an interesting question right now. Well, we originally got it from a painter from like the 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
And
I thought it was really edgy and cool. And I was like 16 or something when I came up with it. So, but it kind of stuck, you know. It conjures a cool image. But the downside is we've got about every wrong way you could possibly spell or say it. Like excited to
Almost
see,
every time.
exiled number 2 letter C. So we have a lot of like.
We've had some discussions about it.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So you're not going to switch your band name over into text emoji speak, is what you're saying. You just rather have
Not
it all
yet.
spelled out
Not
normally,
yet.
right?
Not yet.
Well, I'm really happy that you guys could make the trek down from the city. You guys are all what I would consider to be local fellas, young local fellas.
Oh, yeah.
But you're all living up in the city now, so I'm glad that you were able to make the trek down to come do the taping tonight. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us, man.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
So I'm going to get you to launch right into another song, and then I'll ask you more hard-hitting / annoying questions after that. What are you going to play for us next?
This next song's called Popper Smoker.
Excellent.
Don't you hate the feeling of not breathing? Your eyes roll back in your head, started twitching like a fish being well fried in a cast iron pan. You're overheating and you can see the sweat being poured out your glands. Your heart's a racing, so you start thinking, well, I should call it ambulance. Hear me out. Hear me out. Just hear me out. Oh. Well, I can find myself in my room. It has my mind going crazy. But don't sweat it, just admit it. In some way we're all a little crazy. Good thing think I'm a good kind of crazy. Thank you.
And that was Popper Smoker by Exiled to See. And actually, I was in New Brunswick at one point when my brother's band, when they were still First to Fall, were on tour, and they call them Yetis over there. I have no idea why that's the deal. We'll leave the audience at home to Google what Popper means or what a Yeti is and see what they come up with. So I'm wondering now, how did you guys all form together as a band? How did Exiled to Sea come together?
Well, me and Jorgen were hanging out a lot and playing music with a bunch of different people. And then we started meeting Ivan. We met him, I guess. And we kind of just started jamming from there at my place back in Lunenburg. We had a jam spot in the basement of my house there. Very dingy, very...
Many jams of, like, spiders crawling on your head.
Yeah, it's not a great
Like
spot.
mid-jam.
Not, like, TJ literally wouldn't fit in there. Like, I'm really short, and it was like... yeah, like... No, you had to sit down. And then I met TJ when we were both studying music up at the NSCC Waterfront campus up in Dartmouth, and we met and we had similar tastes, and then we kind of just started jamming.
I lived in your living room.
He did, yes, he did live in my living room for a long time. But then it became your own room, really, in a sense.
Yeah, I did some touch-ups here and there. Made it livable.
Yeah, that would be pretty much that, I guess, yeah.
Cool, and you guys would have formed then the core group, and that's not to say, TJ, that you're not part of the core group, but I mean, the original founding members, you guys would have started when you were in...
As Exiled to Sea, I guess it would have been...
Grade 9, grade 10.
So that's what, like 5 years ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah? So like 2011, 2012?
Holy smokes! So you guys have been plugging away at it quite a while.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
As I said before, these guys were going before I got involved too. So it's a long time in the making. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And I guess another good follow-up question to that would be, would you be able to recall when you actually had your first gig as a band?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I can see them shaking their heads and grinning. So.
Oh, wait.
This is a fantastic story, actually.
Wait, was this at my mom's?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So our first ever gig, Connor, our drummer, his mother was getting married, and she asked us to play their reception afterwards at their house. And they asked us to learn a couple specific songs, and we got most of them down. And they asked us to learn "Wonderful Tonight," and we thought, okay, fine, we'll take a break somewhere through the set, and we'll make sure we got it down. We'll play it later.
Because we neglected it totally.
we were unprepared. And then everyone shows up, and that's their first dance. So we stood up there lost.
And I choked completely.
Skipped a couple verses.
Choked
Also,
so hard.
it would have been maybe all right because she there was going to be a break, and then they were going to have another half of the reception. So we had like at least an hour to like drink some beer and learn some songs, but
Didn't turn out that way.
they ended up doing their first dance as the first song of the night. So we had no
choice.
time to learn this song. It was pretty awful. We got through it somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, got through it's a bit of a stretch. Like, we played the chords and
We
sang
limped
some of the
through
words.
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. While you're obviously still playing as a band, no one had to like put the pounding on you
No,
or anything
no.
like that.
Just
So
don't play Clapton songs anymore.
Yeah, that's
That is a
our
Clapton song, right? Can I get
Yeah,
verification
that's a
on
Clapton
that?
song.
So the next one you're going to play for us is a Clapton song,
Yeah, so
correct?
this is Wonderful Tonight.
The apology version.
Yeah, Redemption.
Sorry, I hurt you.
It's actually that song.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, so you guys have a cover that you're going to play for us tonight, and anyone from my generation will remember this one. Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz. I'm just wondering, why did you pick this as your cover tune that you were going to play tonight? And
Jorgen
no
likes to
judgment
rap.
on that or
Jorgen
anything.
likes to rap.
Yeah, spit mad fire.
He spits mad fire, as he claims. So
we like to pretend we're rapping.
He's got some sort
And
of
the
rap
Gorillaz are
side
just a great
project.
band.
yeah.
Maybe at some point, but hopefully not yet.
Yeah.
He told us so.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it back over to you. This is Clint Eastwood, originally written and performed by the Gorillaz, but tonight performed by Exiled to Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Feeling glad that I got sunshine and it's in a bag. I'm useless. Life along the future is coming on. I ain't happy. feeling glad that I got sunshine, and it's in a bag. I'm useless, I'm not for long. My future is coming on, and it's coming on, and it's coming on, and it's coming on. Alright. Well, finally, someone let me out of my cage, and now time for me is nothing, cause I'm counting no age, and now I couldn't be there. Now you shouldn't be scared, well I'm good at repairs, and I'm under each snare, I'm intangible. I bet you didn't think so, I command you to a panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable, pick and choose, and lose all your different crews. Chicks and dudes, so you think it's really kicking tunes. Picture you, I'm getting down like a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, well maybe spiritual. Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy and lifeless. For those, a definition for what life is priceless to you, because I put you on that high shit. You like it, gun smoking, righteous with one tuck. You're psychic among those, possess you with one dose. Happy, feeling glad that I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy, feeling glad that I got sunshine, and it's in a bag. I'm useless, I'm not for long, but my future is coming on, and it's coming on, and it's coming on, and it's coming on. Okay, the S is the basics, without that you make it. Allow me to make this childlike in nature rhythm. You have it or you don't, that's a fallacy, I'm in them. Every sprouting tree, every child of peace, every clouded sea. You see with your eyes, I see destruction and demise, corruption in disguise from this enterprise. And now I'm sucked in through your lives and through Russell. Not as muscle but percussion he provides, and for me as a guide. Y'all can see me now but you don't see with your eyes. You perceive with your mind, and that's the inner. So I'ma stick around with Russ, be a mentor, bust a few rhymes. Some motherfuckers remember what the thought is. I thought all this so you can survive when the law gets lawless. The fear and sensation that you thought was dead. No screen, that is in your head.
That's wicked. That's an awesome cover for you guys to pick. Thank you very much for playing that for us. That was Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz as performed by Exiled. We're going to take our first break on the Conquerall Mills Music Show. We will be back for more from Ivan, Connor, Jorgen, and TJ after these messages. Welcome back to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on Cove FM. Tonight on the record floor at Conquerall Music, I am featuring the music of the great local band Exiled to Sea. So this is more of a question for all of you to answer individually as you see fit, and based on what you can tell me. I'm wondering, you know, we've all grown up in rural Nova Scotia, and there isn't necessarily a ton of things for young people to go out and do. I'm curious what led you all to get into playing music.
I guess, yeah, because you said, I mean, there's not that much for us to do out here. So, I mean, it's basically get ourselves into some sort of trouble or stick ourselves in the dingy basement and deal with the spiders. Yeah. So, for the most part, at least back then, I think we made the right decision. But who knows now?
Yeah, I don't know. I was always just, it was never even the lack of things to do. It was just like I really loved playing music. So I always gravitated towards that. Started with Rock Band and Guitar Hero, you know, worked my way up from there. And, it was never much a question. Once I'd learned there was like a program at an SEC, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I always wanted to, so.
Just because I love it.
Cool.
It's just love it because...
Impress the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big factor. That's a big factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work out. That
No,
way.
it never does. It really.
I was gonna say
at
I
all.
own the recording studio for the same reason, and it has not worked out that way.
That's good. I'm happy we're
Chin
not the
up,
only
though.
ones. Yeah.
As for me, I grew up in a really beautiful spot of Nova Scotia, right on the Cabot Trail, and I just found like I spent a lot of alone time. Actually, it's like really rural. It was a village actually. I use that terminology. So spent a lot of time with myself and got to know myself really well. And I realized that this is a really good way of learning more.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that whatever led you into music, I'm glad that it all trickled down and that you can be here tonight performing for us. So I'm going to turn things back over to you. What are you going to play for us next?
This next song's called "So I Thought."
New song.
So I thought, and can you give a brief little introduction to this one? Can you tell us what this is about? Is it about anything?
Gotta ask the lyricist.
Yeah, this is, we're all looking at the man here.
I would say it's about not knowing where you're going, but somehow finding what you need.
Nice.
I think that's the story of life right there. You hit the nail right on
Beautiful.
the head. This is "So I Thought" by Exiled to See.
Closest that I'll get to you is through the pictures you post inside I die without signs of hope. I try to stop from tying slip knots and still my feet could slip. Yeah, depressing shit, isn't it? But this life can be such a trip. And thankfully, with the bass is bumping, with kick drum thumping, beating through my soul. That's how I thought. That's how to be somebody else, anyone but myself, so I could hear her scream on repeat, repeat, repeat. Oh baby, don't stop f***ing me. That's how I thought. That's how we're bored. We're all just bored now. And someone who's bored is asleep. And somebody asleep cannot say no. No, they cannot say no. Kinda funny, now that we all think the same, we think the same, we think the same. Yeah, you get paid and you get laid, life's Such a simple game, it's a simple game, it's a simple game. So I thought so.
And that tune was So I Thought by my guest tonight, Exiled to Sea. I'm wondering now about your songwriting process. Do you guys all write songs for the band? Do some of you just do lyrics? Do some of you just do music? How does that process sort of unfold?
Well, we normally go online and type online chord generator. No, I'm just joking.
Verse, chorus, bridge.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Jorgen brings a lot of stuff in. TJ is a
Especially
very prolific writer, and he writes a lot of stuff.
But we all basically just bring in parts that we've been working on, and we just sort of workshop them together and try and put them together into something at least somewhat coherent.
Yeah.
And
easier said than done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just wondering though, so when you come in with an idea, say for example, Jorgen comes in with lyrics, is Jorgen also coming in with music as well, or does someone else? Do you guys ever split that duty up, that one person writes music and then one person comes in with lyrics?
We'll all come in with just different things, sometimes even just like a single line or two lines, and then we'll see if someone can run with it or if they have an instrumental that would work with the content that we're going for. And we just try and sort of slot things together and work together to get a finished product.
Alternatively, like Jorgen or TJ will bring in a riff, and then we'll kind of like work from there and try and write lyrics to that. It really just depends on like the song, I guess.
And the biggest thing for writing lyrics, like usually the first thing that I do is like, say TJ comes up with a riff, I'll just like la 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 to the song until I find like that melody, right rhythm that I want the words to cut to.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll just start writing from there, and then whatever I'm feeling at the time, wherever I'm inspired by. That's how it comes out.
So have you ever been in a situation where, say, someone's brought lyrics in and you've got music? How much of a pain in the butt is it to try and get lyrics to fit with music, or vice versa? How does that go when that happens?
That last song that we had is kind of a good example of that. So I thought we had, again, a sort of hip-hop type chorus thing that we've been working on.
Then it sounded too much like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, we did. We wrote it. We
was like, that can't happen.
And, didn't work. So we cut it for now, and who knows? Maybe one day we'll end up with something else on there. But I think we like it as it is for now. Yeah. Not Limp Bizkit.
Really sound a lot like Limp Bizkit.
Stay away from that.
It was pretty terrifying.
Well, you did say earlier that Jorgen was an aspiring rapper. I guess. This is what you guys say.
Well, that's kind of what it was. Like the chorus on that song prior was kind of like Jorgen was like, it wasn't exactly like rapping, but it was like Limp Bizkit.
It was Limp Bizkit.
So we stopped that. We nipped that in the bud.
And then in terms of the songs that you're playing for us this evening, with the exception of Clint Eastwood, which was a cover, which I'm sure you're not planning to put on an album. Hopefully not. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just wondering, these songs that you're playing for us tonight, have you released these in any sort of format? Is there an official, like, do you have a CD that these are on, or are these just one-offs, or how does that work?
Well, we have a Bandcamp with a couple tunes up on there. I don't know
or
if
at least demo versions of those tunes.
They're being the internet.
Yes. The vast, wide space that is the internet.
But we have some preliminary stuff. But again, we're still working on a lot of these songs, trying to get them exactly where we want before we solidify it in a record, you know.
Excellent. And do you guys have any plans, any sort of, I guess, inkling on the horizon of when you would be releasing an album, or is that still a ways off?
Kind of talked very briefly about like maybe over the summer, maybe going up somewhere like Echo Chamber or somewhere that like isn't like super expensive because we're all really broke. But that being said, we need to like we're writing more. We have a couple songs that like we have new but aren't quite ready enough that we wanted to play them tonight. At least 2 or 3. So we're just gonna keep on writing, and then not put any necessary like time on it. But hopefully, in the summer we can get some stuff done. But we'll see. But
And would any of the songs that you're playing tonight be potential candidates for a future album? Or
that last one,
certainly, yep. So I thought we'll probably be on there. I think as of right now, at least. And then a couple of old classics, like we'll be playing Better Days. I think later on.
might want to re-release that.
Yeah, something that we'll look at re-recording in the future and maybe putting on an album. But again, it's beginning stages on that front.
Nice. Well, again, in keeping with the theme of the show, I'm going to turn things back over to you to play another song. And this next one, at least according to my set list, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is called Misophonia.
Yeah, that's as close as we know it. Yeah.
Which is an interesting title to be sure. How did you come up with that? Can you give us the Webster's definition of what misophonia means?
I don't know. I just had this weird thing where like people breathing really loudly, eating, and like sorry, Booth.
And like I do,
and just like
it annoys.
I looked up the definition of like just simple things that make you just tick and like cringe, and it turned out that it's actually a mental disease. And it's, well, I shouldn't say a mental disease.
Yeah,
we'll say a disorder of the mind. Or...
It's like something.
It's bacterial.
Yeah, and some people can just get drove nuts by people opening chip bags.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they feel like they have to escape that room. And I thought it was really interesting because I just pictured like someone that had that effect to the music. Like I thought that was kind of a cool idea and like just like a cool scenario.
So I'm hoping you're not implying that what you're about to play is going to like drive us all nuts and drive us out of the room.
No,
for you to say.
The drums are a little.
Yeah.
I see him leaving now.
All right. Well, this is Misophonia, which is by Exiled to Sea.
It's killing me, I can't remember a word I said. All I recall is misophonia in my head. I hate the loud breathing and eating from your mouth. I'm excited for dinner, and so I can't help myself. Loud, so I can help myself. Loud. Well, I see the way she looks at him and not at me. But she must think that I'm a no good for nothing f***ing freak. And if only she knew that she's the heaven to my hell, maybe then I wouldn't have to touch myself low. Won't have to touch myself low.
And that was Misophonia by Exiled to Sea. And as, again, harkening back the fact that you're some of the younger musicians that I've had on the show, I'd like to get your perspective. I asked this to another band, Full House, when they were in, and they were, I think, my 5th episode that I aired. And I asked them how sort of the music scene in Nova Scotia has changed from the time when they first started playing up until now. But because I've got a younger perspective and you don't have 30, 40 plus years behind you doing music in Nova Scotia, I'm wondering, what do you feel is the biggest obstacle to overcome when trying to make a living from music in Nova Scotia?
Well, I can speak from a Halifax HRM perspective at the moment because I'm living up there. It applies like here as well. But especially in Halifax now, which like at some point, you know, if you're trying to like branch out, you need to make a name for yourself in Halifax, in Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Inherently. There's not a lot of venues. Like places like the Carlton are supposedly closing down, Barely's, like all these spots. And especially from a younger perspective, like 3 or 4 years ago, there's like no all-age venues, which is a massive thing for younger artists like you're alluding to, like from our perspective.
Yes.
So that is one of the biggest things. It's hard to get out there and actually play a lot of the time, you know?
Especially without coming out of pocket, you know. I mean, like Connor said, when we were underage and first starting to play in the city, there was one place we could play, which was Plan B. The pavilion's opened up back now, so that's something good for the scene. But and the thing with Plan B is it's a small venue. It's normally by donation only, so there's no way to even cover our expenses at that point. We were traveling.
You're not even getting gas money for going out.
So we're out of pocket, each of us,
more or
less
less
every time we
you're
were playing
paying to
those
play.
shows.
And in regards to like Bridgewater, Lunenburg area, that can be like almost, it can be on the fence a lot of the time because, especially with the music we play, like not that people won't like it, but it can be a little abrasive sometimes, and it's not kind of like the Halifax thing where it's like people are going out to a bar to go crazy.
It's not a student scene.
But on the flip side, there's been times because the support in the local area is so great, like with family and like we played at the Legion 4 years ago.
The show that was the most successful for us so far, it still was just put on by us alone. We rented out the Lunenburg Legion and we sold a whole bunch of tickets. It was full all night.
Made like $600 in tips,
we played 36
donations.
songs that night.
Yeah.
So in terms of formally organized things, it's pretty difficult to come by these days.
I feel that pressure too as the owner of a studio that you almost have to make your own opportunities and not wait for something to present itself or sort of wait for what comes along. And I'm not saying that you guys did that at all.
No,
it seems like you did the exact opposite and said, you know, nuts to waiting around for something to happen. Let's make something happen ourselves, which is good. You bunch of entrepreneurial young fellas up here.
And also that's why things like this are so great, like the Conquerall Mills Music Show. It's like this is a great chance for us to come down here to a place that we're comfortable with and do some stuff that some people are going to hear, hopefully, you know, and get the word out there. So thank you very much, Stefan, for having us out here. We appreciate that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for the kind word, guys. We're going to take our last break on the Conquerall Mills Music Show and come back for more music from Exiled to See after these messages. And you are listening to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on Cove FM with my guest tonight, Exiled to See.
I was walking down the street when out the corner of my eyes saw a pretty little thing approaching me. She said, I'd never seen a man who looked so all alone. Could you use a little company? And if you pay the right price, your evening will be nice and you can go and send me on my way. I said, you're such a sweet young thing, why you do this to yourself? She looked at me and then so she said, ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. Oh no, I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Not even 15 minutes later, I'm still walking down the street when I saw a shadow of a man creep out of sight. And then he swept up from behind, he put a gun up to me and he made it clear, wasn't looking for a fight. He said, give me all you got, I want your money, not your life. But if you try to make a move, I won't think twice. I told him you can have my cash, first I gotta ask, makes you wanna live this kind of life. He said there ain't no rest for the wicked, money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Hours passed, I was sitting in my house. Day was winding down, coming to an end. So I turned on the TV and flicked it over to the news, and what I saw I almost couldn't comprehend. I saw a preacher man in cuffs stealing money from the church. He stuffed his bank account with righteous dollar bills. Even still I can't say much because I know we're all the same. We all gotta satisfy those thrills. And there ain't no rest for the wicked, nobody don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouth to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Close our eyes, close your eyes.
And that song was Ain't No Rest by Exiled to See. My next question is...
Sorry, that was a cover.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, a cover.
Yeah,
sorry, who was that originally by?
Cage the Elephant song.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my apologies. That was Ain't No Rest by Cage the Elephant, as performed by Exiled to See. Corrected.
Yeah.
So...
I'd love to take credit for that.
Actually, that's our song. Wrote it.
Nobody heard it before.
I am curious to know, this is a little bit of a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyways because I ask very few silly
Please
questions.
do.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if you weren't playing music, or worse yet, for whatever reason you couldn't play music, what all would you respectively do as your occupation? I know you guys all work day jobs and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that.
Most of us. We got a lazy drummer.
Living on that government money.
That's a good question. We'd probably be pretty bummed out, honestly. Yeah, that would suck. Hopefully that's never an issue.
But I mean more so individually. What would
Ivan has a passion for groceries. I feel like he'd be a grocer.
I like groceries.
Yeah.
I like buying groceries. I like organizing groceries. Yeah. Anything to do with groceries.
I think
you see Ivan in a supermarket, he organizes the shelves for the employees.
And I'm not on
shift.
I'm just there for fun. Yeah, so I'll hang out in grocery stores a lot.
So Ivan would feng shui grocery shelves. What would you do, Connor?
Oh, that's a good question. For a slightly less ridiculous answer. I did actually want to do
Appreciate
psychology.
that one.
I did want to do psychology and like something to do with film before I did this. So maybe something like that. But I don't know how that would go. They're all equally unemployable. So
We don't like functional things.
yeah, we're not functional people.
So Connor would write psychological thrillers.
Yes, there you go.
That is
Christopher Nolan.
Maybe
eat
just
your
sign
heart
us
out.
all up.
Jorgen, what would you do?
I'm not even sure, man. Like,
Be a full-time dreamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like that works.
yeah, I don't know. Probably just do a whole lot of nothing. I don't know, maybe try to become a
chef.
No, definitely not.
Really?
Oh,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
disappointment.
Maybe just like binge watching TV shows.
Uh-huh.
It's a good occupation.
Eating like 4 bags of Doritos a day. Like trying not to crash on a longboard every day.
I think there's some line of work in that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe
Yeah.
just yeah.
A lot of
So Jorgen would try to just withstand the vicissitudes of being alive.
Basically, do
Great word.
Yeah.
TJ, what about you? What would you be doing if you were not playing music or you could not play music?
Is a nap an option? Can I do that?
It's not,
sleep.
but
That's-
I will wholeheartedly endorse that idea. I'm pretty sure I could use a nap, full-time nap.
Righteous.
sounds grim. A full-time nap.
Full time.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that
Never
doesn't
waking
sound as good as I had originally initially planned it
grim,
to
man.
sound. Full-time nap, that's a little bleak. So let's move along from that. Let's gloss over that question.
Good band name.
Stefan asking all this hard-hitting journalistic
I think
stuff.
you would be a journalist if you weren't doing
There
this.
you go.
That's
Just to
yours.
link it all back
yeah,
together.
link it all together.
I don't think you'd want me reporting on the news. That would be so skewed and littered with expletives, it would not be fit for anyone to read. It'd just be like Stefan's angry press release every week.
I'd read it.
So the next song you are going to play for us is called The Fame. What inspired you to write this song?
It's always a question with
Yeah,
George.
it's
Again,
always
this is
a
a good
question
one.
because like I write it and then I just never remember.
I remember
why
what
wrote
he
it.
told me he wrote this song about, but why don't we hear what he's got to say before I...
Then
Yeah,
you
let's
can
embarrass
try and
us
match
on
with
it.
your version.
I don't know. I kind of just wrote about, like just what you see on TV and just as like seeing like these big music stars and stuff and like they're having a great time, and then like it's just like wonder what they did to get there. Like what did they do like behind the scenes that like everybody's seeing the smile right now, but no one
Yes.
saw what was before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this has sort of been a reoccurring theme too with the show. We've talked about, the notion of an overnight success and that there is no such thing as that. So you posing the question, what did these people do to get to the point that they're at?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was lots of slogging and just, pounding the pavement to try and get your name out there. So
And just to add on to that, what I was talking about there is he told me the story with a slight different twist. In his version to me, it was about the adult film industry.
Oh yes, that's what it was.
So
yeah,
that's
totally.
it's a little darker, but there you go. I had to whip that one out.
Yeah.
I like songs
Sorry,
with
Jordan.
dark content that make you think. This is called The Fame by Exiled to Sea.
What would you do for the fame? Well, I cut my hair 'cause it tickles, get a cool nickname. Have my face painted on screens to let everybody see the things that I would do for the fame. For the fame. It makes you see, got to live for the fame. People with fast cars and money, yeah, the whole damn thing. To have everybody love me without ever even seeing the things that I do for the fame, for the fame. Now where do you find the need for the fame? Every time that I stare at my TV screen, Rolexes, Bowflexes, and girls on a wonderful love. And what I do it, what I do, I would do it, what I do, I do it, I do it, I do it for the fame. And I would do it for the fame. And I'll do it for the fame. I said I do it.
And that was Exiled to Sea playing for us their song called The Fame, which apparently is about the adult film industry, I guess.
I
the
never
best
interpreted it like that.
But I mean, you
But it
see
makes
them
sense now
up
that
there.
you
They had
say
to get there somewhere.
I think of it
somehow.
like
How did you get your start in the adult film?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I just like felt bad for
It
them.
started
I think
off in the
dingy.
silent era of adult films.
I think it's a beautifully written song. It's like no, but it's like for the way I always interpret it was like the lengths that people are willing to go to achieve this fame that they might not even want when they get it. You know, it's like if you listen to the lyrics, that's how I interpreted it for sure.
I think that works totally. I think that,
Yeah.
that works completely. But don't forget.
The adult.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
What am I doing?
Listen to the music.
All right, so as we are nearing the end of the show, you guys have one more song for us. But before we get to that, I'm wondering if you have any upcoming gigs or shows that are coming up.
Beautifully put, Stefan.
Thank you. I'm at my most articulate when I do the show.
We've been talking about booking some stuff down here on the South Shore, actually on short notice for St. Paddy's Day. We're looking at the Grand Banker and some stuff like that. Nothing solidified yet, but that's the only thing in the immediate future.
We had this really sweet gig lined up at the Seahorse Tavern in Halifax, but that nasty snowstorm that affected like everywhere in Nova Scotia, whenever it was, like on the Thursday, 4 weeks, I don't even know when, something like that.
White One 2.0.
Yeah, so unfortunately it got canceled. So
We're postponed. We're waiting. We're still waiting on a new date for that. So it's a Greenpeace Halifax event. So that's something we're excited about. Hopefully getting to play here coming up, but nothing definitive on that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And if people want to know more about Exiled to Sea or listen to your music, where are the places that they can go to get all that good information?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. No, we don't have a Twitter. We don't have a Twitter,
Bandcamp,
do we?
Instagram,
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
And just look us up on the internet. You will find us.
We do.
Exiled
There are
to Sea.
Bandcamp would probably be the one. We have a Facebook page. We do have an Instagram page.
We do.
I wasn't totally joking about that.
We're all over the
Yeah.
place. You can't
Yeah.
miss us.
Well,
Well, unless you want
you
to.
probably could. But
Lots of people have chosen that.
You're not showing up on adult sites, I hope not, are you guys?
Yeah,
I
don't
can't
check
speak
those
For Jorgen.
sites.
I can't speak for Jorgen.
You know.
Oh my. Well, I'm going to, again, I keep saying this, turn it back over to you guys for your last song. What are you going to play for us last?
Better days.
Better Days. All right.
Short
And
to the
can,
point.
Short and sweet.
can you give us a little bit of a preamble as to what Better Days is
One of
about?
our oldest songs.
This is the oldest.
And don't
one.
say Better Days because I already gathered that.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Nah. This one actually was about this girl that I knew, and like she was struggling with like drugs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And preemptively, I guess I wrote that song for her. But then again, around the end of it, I kind of wrote it like for myself. And like the second verse, I find is more about me and like kind of like what I was going through at the time. But like it's just pretty much a song about like just like I don't know, just struggling for a little bit, but better days.
As much as we hate to say it, I mean, it's kind of cheesy, I guess, when you put it this way, but it's just sort of out there for anyone who is praying for better days. I mean, we've all done it before, so if you need a little pick me up, then I guess this is the one
Listen
for you.
to our
Yeah.
sad, angry
just
song.
sad,
You want-
angry music.
And you always just gotta have something to like look forward to. Like even if like I know there's like people out there, and if they're listening, like just always have something to motivate you all the time. And this is a song that maybe do that for you.
You always have to dangle the carrot a little bit in front of your face to keep yourself moving
exactly,
forward sometimes.
Yeah.
That's excellent. This is Better Days by Exiled to Sea.
Praying for better days, but it's just too late. The girl chose her role. How could she know that man was a bad apple who fell from the wrong tree? And now she's spending all her fortune to supply the need. And oh, baby, you were so close, it's so far. And how could it seem that we were worlds apart? Oh, I'm trying to figure it out, if I should stand up or just stay down. I have nothing to prove, just everything to lose. And I can hear you say, well, maybe you can live this way, with a cold soul rolling homegrown to get away. And I can make you stay to think that you'll be okay. So bust another line for the road, and I'll pray for better days. I keep making the same mistakes every different day. There's no better way. I've done this so many times, I've told 1,000 lies to try and find the only peace in my mind is when we spark up and get high. Well, no, this can't be true. I found happiness within you, yeah. I can hear you say, well, maybe you can live this way, with a cold soul rolling homegrown to get away. And I can't make you stay, so think that you'll be okay, okay. Cross another line for the road, and I'll pray for better days.
And that last one was Better Days from Exiled to Sea. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming in this evening. It was a pleasure having you. Let's give him one more round of applause.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Stefan. Really, we're happy to be here.
Conquerall Music Studios.
Yeah. I also want to extend a huge thank you to our studio audience and our listeners out there in rural Radio Land too. So let's give them a hand too. The Conquerall Mills Music Show is hosted, produced, and mixed by Stefan Ramey, and our engineer for the evening for recording is Adam Fancy. To hear tonight's show and other previous episodes, please visit our YouTube channel at Conquerall Music, and don't forget to subscribe while you are there. Please tune in next week where my guest will be the wonderful and talented Caleb Miles. You have been listening to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 CKVE, Cove FM, and online at covefm.com. Please keep it tuned to Cove FM for Time Machine with Bob McDonald at 9 p.m. Have a great evening.